Bwong. Holy crap.
Alright guys, and we're back. This is Isaac.
This is Taryn.
We are tm&m playing Gears of War 4 Part 8. You're right, that does sound like a big number.
And so last time we ended up talking about my terrible driving stories, which is now wildly appropriate and wonderful. Because this is my first time driving in Gears of War. So we're going to go with my...
Or just Gears of War 4.
Well, Gears of War 4.
Oh.
There's that one driving moment, and oh my gosh, this is harder than it looks.
Only because you suck at driving.
Deal with it.
Yeah, I'm doing just fine.
So, on the subject of being terrible...
Oh! You cut ahead of me for some reason.
Because apparently...
This bike's an antique.
This bike's an antique.
The bike?
Yes, I'm worried about the bike. We're driving on it at untold numbers of miles an hour.
But yeah, so we were talking about Taryn's first driving story, and just
Ever.
a small and just a small recap on that. So he and our dad were going to an event that they go to every month or bi-monthly, and it's a 30 to 45 minute drive. And there was some miscommunication as to his actual skill in driving. He had only driven in those.
Yeah, so at this point I had driven in a simulator like twice ever. And Dad was under the impression, we talked about it a little bit, he was under the impression that I had, I thought there was a turn there. He was under the impression that I had driven twice. Sorry for yelling at you.
Oh yeah, we were yelling at you guys. Sorry. We hear the music in our headphones, so we're like yelling over. So we'll try to keep that down. Sorry.
And he was under the impression I had driven an actual car twice. Neither of us were aware of this communication until after the drive began. And so I had a few questions for him, a few normal questions as we're driving out there.
That was on me. A few normal questions as we're driving out there.
Up to the highway, because most of that drive is over highway, but we've got to obviously get from our house to the highway exit. And from the house to the highway exit, there are two stoplights, four-way stoplights. Well,
at that time, that's right. There were only two.
James, watch the
and
tree.
there are two four-way stoplights.
What do you think I'm doing?
And I asked him, we didn't have to stop for the first one. It was just a green light that went through. We had to stop for the second one and wait, and I had to turn left to get to the road to go on to the
Onto the
highway.
freeway. Onto the freeway.
And so we're sitting there parked and looking at the lights, and I'm staring out over at him and looking back and looking forth and all this jazz, and oh gosh.
Fire.
And I asked Dad, I'm like, which one of those is mine? And he's like, I'm sorry, what? It's like, the lights, which one of those is mine? He's like, what do you mean which one's yours? I'm like, I'm like, I can see all of them. Which one is the one I pay attention to know when to stop or go? And he's like, we have a tense few moments as he explains. And then I take the turn and, we can shoot.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I thought I could just drive and...
Nope.
That's
You can
neat.
shoot.
Oh, shoot its engines? Are you guys going to shoot for me? Because...
I'm just pulling the trigger. I'm trying to aim a little bit.
I'm like, because I don't seem to have the option to aim.
Wherever you look, dude.
Alright, so we'll look at it. We're getting plastered.
Yeah, I am. Anyway, so tense few moments while you guys are discussing that.
Yeah, and he explains which ones. And then the light turns green, and I make the turn to go left onto the highway, and he's like, wait. And this is when it clicks. He's like, oh wait, no. There was another moment of confusion as I was getting onto the highway, and I don't remember what it was. I think it might have been how fast it was, or how can I merge, or something like that. That is a big old. And so there's another question that was asked, and finally it like clicks in his head. It hadn't clicked in my head that he didn't realize this yet, but it clicked in his head. It's like, wait, have you never driven before? I'm like, no! Because we had this conversation and had this miscommunication already, so I was under the impression he knew. And this was just to be my first driving experience. And he's like, wait, have you never driven before? I'm like, no, I told you. And I'm like freaking out at the driver's wheel, 16 years old. Oh gosh, I'm going to die. on the highway going 70 miles an hour. And I'm like, no, I don't know what I'm doing. I panic and I was like, all right, pull over, pull over. I'm like, but we're going so fast. And eventually, we get pulled over. Well, we don't We don't get pulled over. We pull over.
Oh, okay.
Get out of the car, switch around, and he, his body language very tense, like, oh my gosh, we're still alive. Gets out, switches around, and then he drives the rest of the way there, and we talk about the situation. And he apologizes for not understanding, and I apologize for freaking him out.
Taryn, push and hold the left trigger.
Oh.
Watch it!
Nice.
We can aim. All right.
Well, you know what the annoying part about that is, Isaac?
What?
I did that for a second already, and it didn't even occur to me that I could change where I was looking.
Now!
Wow. Yeah. Sorry. But yeah, so then he drives the rest of the way, and we have a calm conversation about what happened and some rules of the road, and he agrees not to make me do that again until I've driven test drive for a bit, and I agree not to freak him out and to be more clear about things in the future. And that was the very first time I ever got behind the wheel of a car. And it was a nightmarish moment for a bit. Shoot there.
Oh. Now, because he decided to tell his first driving experience, I'm going to tell you my first 3.
Because this still feels appropriate based on what we're doing.
Because we're still driving. And also because my first 3 consist of my first 2 times that I was very underage and my first time when I was 16.
Oh, it's close.
Yeah, it is. So the first time that I ever drove, I was, I want to say, like 6. No, I take it back. No, I was 9.5. That's right. And I was really mad about having to go to this event at the church. I'm like, I don't want to go. I don't care. And so I steal our mother's keys.
The car's exposed!
Oh, I'd forgotten about this.
I steal our mother's keys out of her purse. I go into the parking lot. Where do we go? Okay. I go into the parking lot. I get in the car. Oh! I'm so glad that worked. And I start the car, and I put it into, and I get it into neutral. So it just starts rolling back without me doing anything because it was a slight hill. And I scream, jump out of the car while it's slowly moving, and then run inside and go, Mom, the car's rolling away. And she's like, what? Runs out there, jumps in the car, puts it in drive, puts it back, parks it. And I got scolded so hard for that. That was... Yeah, I got really scared. Oh, they did what?
We'll find out there.
Ah.
Told you!
Hey, he's researching.
Click, click. But, so... That's my very first time driving. My second time driving, I finally convinced Mom to take me on a dirt road to let me drive. What?
By then, the grub's bodies were covered in that crystal crap.
Oh.
Indestructible. What if they cocooned and became something else?
Right?
Do you think the locusts are back?
Don't know yet. That's the one nice thing about being old. You don't have to have an opinion about everything.
Nice.
Catch up to you guys.
Wind's picking up.
Yeah.
So...
Nothing to worry about yet, though.
Yeah,
Keep
not
your
yet. Do you hear that?
What the hell
Yep.
was that?
Oh, I'm sure we'll find out.
You sound like an animal.
Gotta love the Gristle old vet response.
Yeah. And that was very simple. I drove down the road, and it was like 2 minutes at 5-10 miles an hour at most. That's a cool...
Oh, hey, there's a thing to look at.
Hey,
Oh,
there's
hey.
water here.
Pretty sure that's how you get dysentery.
I was gonna say, I'm like, wait,
Let's
but
assume I'll live.
And then the first time I drove when I was legal, it was my 16-year-old birthday present. That buddy of ours let me drive his car.
Yeah.
By the way, this is after I'm 4 years younger than Taryn.
So he's had his moment with me and already given up on driving with me ever.
Yeah. But he's like, you know what? I trust you. You've always seemed more calm around the wheel. Like I think you'll be okay. So he gives me the chance to drive his car. There was about a 5-minute drive at about 30 miles an hour. And he's like, well, this sucks, but no, that's not what he said.
Okay.
But so he gives me that chance to do that, and when I park it into our parking, the stone thing that you park your cars on.
Wow. Suddenly the word is driveway.
Driveway, yeah. So I drove and put his car in the driveway, and he's like, yeah, you haven't even officially gotten your permit yet, and you're already a better driver than Taryn. Like,
I took offense at the time, but years have shown that, yeah, no, he's a better driver than I am.
the only exception to that, this is the one time that I've ever had an experience where I personally think that I sucked at driving. I was driving around a female friend of mine who had come over from California to go to school at a local college here. And
what's glowing?
yeah.
That
They cocooned.
I thought it was a carpet or like a tapestry, but that's a tendril.
They cocooned as all get out.
Did you step on it and it burst? Is that what just happened?
I tapped it and it burst. Yeah.
Covered in this shit.
I tried to saw it and it wouldn't let me.
Glowing now, so that's good.
Come on.
Yeah, is it?
Out of that thing,
You do glow. Look. On the
That's
screen.
actually kind of awesome. I glow on mine too. Check it out.
Oh, you can see it already. I wasn't sure you'd be able to with your flashlight.
But so I was driving her. It was the winter, and I let her and her friend's presence, and we were all chatting and having fun. And it was the first time that I had had a lot of fun while driving, and I got distracted. Only with her in the car, the 2 or 3 times I drove with her, every time I ended up 2 wheels on the sidewalk, and it was the middle of the winter, somewhere around the area where the school was. And that's the worst driving I've ever done, and I've never done it. I've never done it since. I've been appropriate. I haven't driven on the sidewalk. I'm a good driver. And that's disgusting.
Oh, that's nasty.
Oh, nasty.
Jin's disappearances. I think we just found them.
The question is that going butterfly style and incubating, breaking down and becoming something else, or is that food?
This is what
Yeah.
happens to people they capture? Oh, God, Mom.
Kate, hey, come on. We'll get her back, all right? We need to find that mine. Come on.
You find a lot more of this in there. Anyway, so 2 wheels up on the...
2 wheels up, and after I think the second or third time, she's like,
What the hell's going
I'm going to wait until summer to drive with you again. I'm like, okay, I understand that.
Marcus Phoenix is stumped. That is so...
And so ever since then, I've been a good driver. I drove all the way from Washington to here without any kind of issues.
I think that does damage.
Probably does. Because my girlfriend was coming to visit, so I drove her from where she's living to
Stop popping
here.
the pods.
Stop popping the pods.
Okay, I'll stop popping them.
No, he said that.
I know, but I think there was one more driving story that Taryn had to tell if he still wanted to talk about these driving stories.
I thought of another one. Oh, that's right. That's right. I was like, there was another.
There was
story.
one more, yeah.
And we'll leave it at that because I mean I have more, but there we are. My most famous around here at home driving story is the time I hit a house.
Yeah.
And I'll just let that comment sink in for a second because I didn't crash into a house. I mean, I did, but I hit a house. And as Isaac has mentioned, I'm a bit older than he is, so I was driving his friend home to his house one day. He'd come over to play, and I was driving him home.
Get down.
And there is a street that I took to get there that curves. Is that glowing thing? Oh, there's something moving in that shadow.
Following us since we got here.
Has it really?
What?
Well, they mentioned it. He's like, there's something above us. He's like, I know.
Whoa,
That-
what is that?
That works.
That's a ugly-looking big old
Take it
grenade.
out. Got it. Got it.
Is this how we lose Phoenix?
I don't know. Oh, it's one of the glowy things.
Oh yeah, it's one of those like one of the animals that was jumping
Yep,
around.
there it is. Now I can see its glow better. It has to know you're coming, right? Like it's watching you. It sees the aggression. It chitters. Is that just a basic frag grenade?
Oh. Is that what those?
Oh!
Oh!
Oh, it shoots things!
Hey, do you think that's what the?
Yeah, that was a basic frag grenade. That's why it didn't look right.
Do you think that's what the skitters transformed into?
Skitters.
The small
this
things
might be how we
that.
lose him.
Oh!
Whoa! What?
The small things that that sometimes had bombs implanted into their butts.
It's a living cocoon thing. Oh, the tickers?
Yeah, the
What
tickers.
Could be. If that's what happened, like when these things are transformations, that's probably what it is.
Yeah.
They're living cocoons.
Yeah, they are.
Jerk-like. Desk!
And that is why this game is 2-player co-op, not 4-player.
Marcus was gonna help us beat these things. Get my mom back. Now what the hell do we do?
That thing.
We continue with the plan, lady.
Right?
Just swallowed him.
All right, stop. He's gone. But he's not dead.
Yet.
They're
We
taking
have
people
multiple people hoping for
and
living
using
people.
them. We know that process takes some time. So right now, we go after my dad. We need him.
And what if we can't get him back?
Then, I guess we're all alone out here.
Fuck.
Okay, so now what? Now we go to where they're taking him.
Where's that?
The same place he was taking us. That Locust burial site.
That seems like a logical conclusion.
Yep. Anyway, so he was driving down a road with a slight curve on it.
Well, it's not a slight curve. Instead of being like a T intersection, it's just that without one of the prongs. So it goes at a 90-degree angle and just turns into a completely different road. Shotgun over here if you want it.
I'm good.
And I was chatting with his friend in the back seat. He was having issues with the. It was a hot day. He was having issues with making the windshield rolling down, and I realized I had the child lock on. So I look. I don't know where it is. So I look down as we're coming to that arc, that 90-degree turn, and fiddle with it. And then by the time I look up, we'd gone from a ways away to the curb to my tires are now kissing the curb. It's too late to stop, so I slam on the brakes
And so are we.
and slide all the way across the dirt and the
Oh,
Oh.
God. Another one of those pots.
slide all the way across the dirt and the this one's moving.
gonna. Oh.
Yep. Okay. It's a cocoon. They're doing the whole.
Ha! Tell me that's not a locust.
Are you gonna tell me that looks like a locust to you?
You gonna tell me it doesn't?
Yes.
It's got the teeth. It's got the same markings.
I don't think we're gonna put a picture of a locust up here and let you guys decide. But I don't think you remember what those things look like. For one
Okay.
thing, they're way too small.
No, they're smaller, but
These
they
are like
still
little-
look like locusts.
These are like the little goblin things. Remember the goblin things?
Oh yeah.
I don't remember what they're called.
That's how they're acting, but they look like little locusts, like maybe premature of that dude who had the crystals on it.
I got you.
Anyway, so he's kissing the curb now.
So I'm kissing the curb. Keep in mind, this is all happening in the space of like 7 seconds or less, and I haven't stopped. But yeah, so I look up as my tires are kissing the curb, and I slam on the brakes, slide across the person's nicely large, thankfully, front lawn, and till I smack against their. Oh!
Well, that sucks.
Okay? Think so, but there is a lot of that shit down here.
That's
Can you
great.
get back up?
Mm-hmm.
No, you guys calm down, but just watch it.
All right. Well, here's a quick question.
Kidding.
I want to know.
Just step.
Okay, I have to do that. I want to know if bullets first, please.
They do.
Oh,
Do
bad.
not touch the pots.
too bad. Yeah, those totally do damage. So the next time something's hiding behind them, I'm gonna blow it up.
But yeah, so you slide across
Unless maybe it yields
his nicely sized
Lawn. And thankfully, there was in between the grass and my slamming the brakes and a little bit of a swerve, and the distance, I just basically kissed up against his porch. The guy. I love how he's like, fine then. Oh, some of them have stuff in them.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll just not.
pods. The incubators. We're for this. Hey, come out. We need to find my dad, and soon.
Gross. And I kiss up against it, and kissing for we were driving the at the time family Suburban. So kissing up against a curb is relative in something that size. Oh hey, there's a ammo.
How's it taste?
Oh.
Bad, probably, right? It smells.
Oh hey, this is where we fell. Where you fell.
And now it's raining. Perfect.
So
And
so
so-
kissing is a relative term. It's
Yeah,
a vehicle that kissed wood. So
It wasn't wood. And that's what I was about to get to.
Oh, was
Is
it metal?
The base of his porch was wood, but the base around it was built out of like those nice shaped cinder block kind of deals, and I did move those. Now, thankfully, because of the damage that there was, I got out. I was able to look at it. I was able to move it back. So the damage there was basically negligible. There was some dents in the wood, and the cinder blocks moved. I was able to move the cinder blocks back. But then I have to back across the lawn and out to the car. And unless you guys think I did like a hit and run thing, I did pull the car off the road. I mean, off the port.
off the lawn.
Lawn, thank you. But then I stopped and came back and was like, hey, is anybody home? And knocked on the door. Nobody answered. Now here's where it gets funny. So nobody answered. I didn't have any way to leave a message or anything like that.
Well, so one other thing that he didn't mention that I feel like, I'm gonna die.
Oh, there's me.
When he drove in, they had a flower bed.
I was getting to that.
Oh, it didn't sound like the. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's all right. So, like I said, here's where it gets funny. So I had no way to leave a message, so I just drive off and take his friend home and then come back and mention it to Mom. We went back over there. Well, so there's a couple things that are funny about this. One was the thing Isaac was about to mention. So there was a flower patch right by the edge of the... There was a flower patch right by the edge of the curb, which I drove over. And there was also a flower patch right up against the patio. So I drove through 2 flower patches. By the grace of God, somehow, some way, despite driving through 2 flower patches, I hit none of the flowers, none of the foliage. There were tread marks in the dirt, but that was it. I didn't mar or damage any of the plant life, somehow. Going forward or back.
Which is the most impressive part. Like
I got on and off this lawn without damaging any of their plant life, which is just amazing. Now, funny part
funny part.
is, so I go back and tell Mom, and Isaac mentioned before some driving with his driving experience with the church and things. So these people are in our ward of our church, and my mom, I didn't know at the time people's where they lived and all that kind of jazz, so I didn't know whose house this was. And my mother knew whose house it was, but she only knew the wife's name. It was a married couple.
I can't move this alone.
And she only knew the wife's name and only knew her by her first name. And that didn't sound familiar. And what came out later is
We follow this.
I knew the gentleman, the husband who lived there, but I only knew him by his last name. And I didn't know his wife's name. So we had 2 halves of this information, but not enough to stick together to figure out who... exactly who lived there. Like, she knew, but I didn't have that info in my head. And the reason that is funny is because we went over, we fixed up what we could, nobody was home, so we left a note with a message and all that kind of jazz to let him know, hey, call us and we'll deal with whatever needs to be dealt with, right? Well, so then after we did that, I immediately left and went to a young men's activity. And he was my young men's leader. The guy who lived there was my young men's leader. So we're over there. We go do stuff for like 2 hours. I never mention it because, again, I know his last name, not his first name, and I don't know his wife's name at all. And so we never mention it. And so he comes home, or we get done, and we all go home and do our separate things. And like 15 minutes later...
Somebody shut that thing up!
Oh, it's a screamy bugger.
Yeah, it is.
God damn, that's a lot of them!
We go home, and like 15 minutes after I get home, he calls me, and he's like, dude, what the heck? he's like, we're hanging out doing stuff for 2 hours, and you don't think to mention this to me? And that's when I explained to him that whole deal.
Yeah.
Like, Mom knew your wife's name, and I knew your last name, but I didn't know... Oh, that was it. Mom knew both of their first names, but not the last name.
Yeah.
And I just knew the
last, because
the last
he's
name.
brother insert last
so-and-so.
name here. Yeah.
Watch it!
And so I'm like, I didn't realize that was you. And it turned out to be fine. He wasn't even really mad about the event. He was just bugged. He was like, why didn't you tell me?
Why didn't you tell me there in
And,
person?
and then I tell him the story, and he's over the phone. He just laughs. Like, are you freaking kidding me? And I'm like, no, that was it. And so he was fine with it. But yeah, so that's my most famous / memorable
driving
local
story.
driving story.
And you'll notice this episode is going a little bit long. That's partially because of his story, but also partially because we're just going to finish this act,
Chapter
hopefully finish it off here in the next 5 minutes-ish.
Yeah, it shouldn't take long. It feels like we're coming to it.
And that's when we will go ahead and end this episode.
Yeah.
There we go.
What's that? Oh, okay, it's just a statue.
But yeah, that's easily one of the most famous driving stories. My personal favorite still has to be the one that he did with our buddy, just because 4 lanes of traffic and he's like, ah, what are you doing?
Trying to give you some enriching historical context here.
Thank you for grabbing that collectible, because I was completely going on story. I didn't even think about looking around.
I was looking for ammo and found that, so there we are. It's fine.
Kick it open.
What comes next?
But hope you guys enjoyed our driving stories.
Yeah, our car ran while we drove, and then watched Marcus get taken away
Yeah, poor Marcus.
by glowing cocoon monsters. Hey, gas lamps.
Yeah,
Nice.
I guess fancy. When did we go into Dracula's castle?
Do you see any moving parts?
She just did a moving part.
Oh, that barely counts. Wow. Wait, we're gonna find a big.
Oh,
Whoa.
are you kidding me?
Their version of emergence holes, or actual emergence holes, or lava. Could just be lava.
I think they're like the ghouls from Shadows of Mordor, where that's just where they all... Oh. See, that is a full-on straight up. I dare you to argue with me.
It's a mirror. Hold on.
So you're going to tell me that's not a locust?
It talks.
You're going to tell me that's not a locust?
Yeah.
Can we down
Bull crap.
Well, I mean, it's the mirror unit.
It's a locust. It looks exactly like a locust, only with no
It
clothes.
doesn't look exactly like a locust. It looks like 80% like a locust.
Oh my god.
It doesn't. Okay, exactly.
You're right. It does not.
No,
have
I'm
the,
sorry,
It
we're-
does not have the chitin.
We're gonna talk for a minute. I am real tired of people using the word exact improperly.
Oh.
So I work at a place where I take orders with customers. And
Oh, you're really
ow.
gonna, okay.
And one of my biggest pet peeves is when you have more than one person ordering. One person. Yeah, wow, he's fast. Oh, the backwards up down one. Nice. Is when you have customers and they order.
Okay, that's all of
You have 2 customers ordering together, and then one will tell you what they want first. So they're calling out of emergency hole. It kind of looks like that, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think so. It's like some kind of nest.
And
And the second person will.
the second person will be like,
Oh, shit!
"What? Oh, okay." The second person will be like, "Yeah, I want exactly what he's getting, except I want to do this and this and this and this to it." And I'm like, "I don't think you freaking know what exactly that means."
You keep using the word. I do not think it means what you think it means.
Because
Oh,
exactly
look at
that.
He's wearing the same armor even.
Well, yeah, no, those are based off the bodies of them, sure.
Oh my gosh, it's. You're right. Okay, fine. So it is exactly that. It is exactly your example.
Oh.
It is your example of it's not exactly. It's the same but different.
So Isaac, if you see some of those hanging and you shoot them, they'll drop down as cover.
Oh, cool.
Sorry. But yeah, no, so people will be like, I want exactly this, except with all these different...
Bull crap.
Oh.
You did not beat me in a clicker match.
Oh, so I was expecting you to win that. You always win those.
I know.
But yeah.
I didn't start it as soon as I should have.
That's alright.
But yeah, people using the word exactly when it's not exactly. It's a similar issue that we both also have with literally. The way this, the way that this generation decides to use the word.
Hey, don't blame it on this generation. It's people long
Okay, you're
before
right.
them.
You're right. It is people in general. Did we hit a new chapter with it when I didn't notice? I don't know.
I'm like, just in case.
What?
I was too slow. What? So I'm gonna say that got harder in this game, based on.
But
that.
I'm okay. Fine. I will do my break my hand and beat everyone and everything. The only way that you can be faster than me at doing that when I do it that way is if you have a turbo on your controller. Okay, that is the only way.
Oh hey. I thought you wouldn't be able to do that immediately after. Wait
So
for
here
it.
we
Wait
go.
for it. Wait.
Dropped it on him. Nice.
Yep. That's what I thought it would do in the first place. Was that? But... All right, we'll give you this one shot. All right.
Yeah, that's right, sucker. See, I told you. When I do it that way, nobody beats me.
All right.
But yeah, so literally and exactly. So no, they don't look exactly like Locust, but they have the same teeth. They have the same facial structure.
They have
the
similar
same
body structure.
They have the same dot markings.
The dot. They're almost smooth. So they're not super dotted.
They're not. They are smooth, but they have a design on them that is that dotted mark that the Locust had.
The kite.
Yeah, that stupid chitin. That chitinous subject texture that they have.
Hamburgers.
That didn't work out. If you could just shoot him. Okay, I'm like, if we could just...
I had tried just shooting him, and that's how he killed me, so that's why I switched to trying to chainsaw him.
He came around the corner. He didn't run.
Oh, look, that must be an older one. They do develop some much more serious scaling.
Yeah.
It's about time we got the hell out.
So again, you're going to tell me that those are not, like, straight-up Locust.
I mean, what the hell was that?
I am, because they were specifically designed not to be while still being familiar.
You mean like evolving? Shouldn't
Like,
that take a lot of
I
time?
read stuff.
Some insect juveniles can become drones in days. Hours even.
So, you know.
So,
Yeah.
juvies and drones.
I love that they're giving us the actual names for these things. That's great.
I have a feeling we're gonna find out.
So the little ones are called juvies.
Juvies, and then the bigger ones are called drones.
Yeah, the mirror units are called drones.
Graveyard. That's a good omen. Ah, shit,
With a
another
thing
nest.
coming out of it.
We gotta get a frag in there.
Oh yeah, go ahead and do that.
I remember why I kept grenades
Center,
now.
on the left.
Good girl.
I shoot. Oh, where'd he go? Alright.
Whatever. I'll just walk around that way. What?
I'm coming.
Did you get it?
No, because he's popped his head back down. Oh, you're gonna get him, alright. Oh, there's another nest. I don't have that.
I do.
Get that.
This guy has a long shot, by the way.
I know. Yeah,
I mean, like, not an ember, but a long shot.
I'm aware of what a long shot is. I was about to say there's no new cog gear here. It's all old stuff.
There we go.
We're close to nest.
I think
There's
I
a-
got
there's a-
both of them.
Oh, really? I'm not going to think that there's another one on
Oops.
the far right there.
Yeah, I got two.
Nice.
If there were only two, I got them both. Poor dead COD guy. Oh crap. Nope. I got my head crushed. Oh, just as Della was about to rescue me too.
Bummer.
Man, this is already a 35-minute video, but now we've far surpassed where we could possibly go back.
We gotta get a frag in there.
All right. Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
I am impressed both with you and at the same time disappointed in you.
Hey, the range of that explosion is much more impressive than boom shot.
Boom. I like the boom.
I didn't think to look in here for ammo. Are you gonna come get the boom?
I mean, if you don't want the boom.
I have a few shots left in my embers that I should use.
Ooh.
This one's a blast from the past.
That also means they have the technology of the Locust ready to go. Crap.
I see you.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay.
I wonder if this will take care of that. Yup.
Nest is clear.
This is as effective as a grenade in clearing out
Ow!
those nests.
What the crap? Something hit me hard.
Oh, right, we only have one person to res us.
Hang on, I'll be right there.
Well, I mean, we also have each other. But
Yeah, but if we're both down.
I gotta say, this hammer burst hit hard.
Incoming frag.
Ooh! Nope.
Where are you?
Nope. Bad.
Where are you?
I'm right there.
Yeah, I see you.
Okay. Yeah, they're getting horned up. Like spikes all over. And
Oh. That or they glow behind you. Alright, okay.
I'm like, what? I'm like, that's way behind me then. Okay.
Well, I thought he just ran straight up here. I figured he was gonna come around and get you.
Oh, I was
Hang on, I'll be right
to your
there.
left.
Just in time.
Where? What?
He must have gone up here then. Yeah, he went up here. Okay.
It's over.
So yeah, if this is not...
Lower old definition. Come on, let's get the transfer.
So, oh, okay, I'm betting we're...
Yeah, I
right
bet
here.
we're like right here going to get out of here, so.
Sorry if it's a bit long, guys. We actually still don't know whether or not you like the long ones or not. We've had one before. But...
Yeah, that's true. And that was a long Batman, and as we mentioned in a previous video, those were kind of getting reviews, so you know, we don't really know that people watch those.
And again, as we mentioned then, if you want to see more, if you want to see the rest of the chapters, hit us up. I know they recently released
a second game and a sequel.
The Enemy Within, which stars Riddler. So if you want us to get to that, and we're happy to play out the first part first. So we have all the... Because I've seen a commercial for it, and you need to have played the first one to know what's going on.
Yeah.
So if you want us to do that, we're totally game.
Yeah, more than we are more than willing to play like whatever games you guys want us to play. In our PvP ones, in our
whatever you want to do,
whatever games you want to see, we will find a way to make it happen. If you could, right now we're kind of limited to Xbox and maybe Nintendo Switch.
And PC.
And PC, obviously, yeah, PC.
But basically, not PlayStation. We don't have a PlayStation.
We don't have a PlayStation yet. So just letting you guys know that to help you with your ideas.
Different.
That's scary.
That's different. It's armored, and...
It's armored, it has 5 prongs.
Okay, you're a big fella.
I'm betting it's a little bit smaller, and its belly thing isn't as open or large.
I was hoping that there would only be one.
It's not smaller. It's not smaller, and you know that glowy bit is new.
Oh!
Hello!
Can I chainsaw you? Nope. Can't chainsaw.
You're
Good to know.
adorable.
Hey,
I
it was
just jammed. Oh!
Bet I can chainsaw that?
Nice! I wouldn't even have tried that. That was freaking sweet.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, so if he leaps at you and you dodge, he doesn't have great balance. That's how he fell over.
Oh, is you?
Yeah, see, like he tries to do that. B.
Get off.
Is that my head?
He ripped off my head.
Okay, so I think you need help to get off from that, or
Oh,
that was my head, man.
he ripped
Not
off
cool.
my head.
Night terrors. Yeah, that feels right.
Holy crap.
So that happened.
That was my head. He, like, ate my head.
Yes.
Watch out for the quill!
Yeah, that doesn't happen. Okay, you can stop shooting quills at me. That's not good.
Where'd he go?
Over here on the right. You see him. Oh, okay. All right. I'm cool with that.
Two more of them!
Have you not jump on me? I don't even know where he is. Oh, right here. Right frickin' here. No, you get the heck away from me. You're not pouncing on me, sir.
Dang it.
Oh, yes you are.
You can punch him off.
Okay, good. Can I chainsaw you while you're...
Nope.
Okay.
I just tried. You cannot chainsaw them unless they are
Belly up.
laid over, yeah. Oh, and I'm down. Okay, you got one. That's
Alright,
good.
I got
Oh, was that a third one? Okay, no, it's just that normal third one. Okay.
Ah! I must have just gotten... Apparently I
Nope.
just got lucky
Okay.
that one time.
Okay, so you cannot... okay, so you cannot...
Cannot what? Speak...
You can't chainsaw them even when they're, like, on you.
Okay.
That's what I was trying there, was to try and, like, get them off of you, chainsaw them, but...
Now we have these pouncer things to worry about?
Yeah. The way this night's going, it's only gonna get worse.
Probably. It probably is going to get worse.
Oof.
But yeah, so these are the new enemies.
Yeah.
Enjoy that.
Hey, the longer we wait, the harder that thing's gonna get to track.
All right then. Let's see where this leads.
Alright, this has got to be it. Call the tram down. Oh, yeah.
Is it going to be when we get on the tram, or is it going to be...
We're going to have to
get off
sit
the
here and
tram?
defend ourselves when we...
Okay, that's gross.
And then
I know,
calm
but
the tram.
but the question is, like, when does the...
Watch it!
Oh!
Well, that could have gone better.
Could have gone worse.
Well, as long as it still runs, we should be okay.
Well, there we go. At least the tram's still on the tracks.
Okay, so we're going to have to fight our way there on the tram.
Yeah, so, but the question is, like, when is the next chapter?
After we get there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would have pissed some people off if we were like, okay, we gotta stop. And that's this.
Like, really, guys? Hold it.
Come on. Seriously?
Yes.
Counterweights
Oh.
dragging. Go. I got this.
Let me fix the tech, because I am tech man.
Even though I like to give him crap about it. Gotta hold it. So, parents are gone.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Oof.
no. I'm sorry I got your dad mixed up in this. If I had any idea,
No,
Oh, the end on her hair is purple.
idea that saving my mom meant you maybe losing
It is?
me.
we haven't lost anyone yet.
Doesn't... Oh, on the one around her head? Yeah.
No, the end of her hair on the
Yeah,
the
but
tail.
not... I thought you were talking about the thing on the front of her head.
I'm
not
talking
the-
about her hair. Her actual hair, the end of the
Yeah.
it's purple.
The end of the hair at the...
You're like, what are you doing?
But no, like you're talking about the part that comes around the back of her head. I was talking about the part that comes in front of her face.
Well,
And again, I say
that was my
braid.
first and last.
You said hair.
That's fair.
Funicular,
Okay.
huh?
All right.
Funicular.
All right.
Oh, let's get off this thing.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And if you want to see more, click the subscribe button and ring that little bell if you want to be notified. And if you enjoyed this actual video by itself, click the like button.
Marcus said the Locust burial site was inside a mine.
And we will see you next time.
Following the Snatchers up.
If you liked it,
Hey, I'm
tell us what you did like, what you didn't like, what you'd like to see in the future from us, whether that be more Batman, more this, more something else we haven't done, etc.
More longer videos, more shorter videos, whatever the case may be. If you liked this longer one, I think it's going to end up being about 46 minutes with all the extra stuff. please let us know if you'd prefer these longer videos. Let us know if you want us to go back to those 23 to 25 minute long videos. Let us know that too. In the meantime, this has been 2 Minute Mike signing off. Hey guys, you can click the link in the left for our last lore video.
You can click the link on the right for our last Let's Play.
And right here in the middle, that orb, you can hit that to subscribe.
Also, ring the bell if you want to be notified when we post a new video.
This is 2 Men and a Mic. Thanks for watching.